Today, Precarious plays Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
I heard a rumor, and I would like to know if you have also heard this rumor.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that there's going to be another Zagreus.
They're gonna make Hades 2?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Supergiant Games doesn't do sequels?
I saw some pretty convincing...
This is shallow. I missed.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to look it up. How is it that I could have possibly found out about this? I bet it's a lie. It can't be true. Hang on, now I have to look it up. It is Hades, right?
Yeah. It's Hades.
Yeah, Hades 2. Hades 2. Everything we know about Hades 2.
No.
Hades 2 is a sequel after the events of the first game, etc.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how to feel about that either, but it's happening.
Because
it's in full production right now, though we have a lot left to build. Sometime in 2023. So I guess we all have to stay alive a little longer.
I don't know, man. I mean, what else would they possibly have to do or say? I mean, obviously they must feel like they have something. I think I can trust Supergiant to, like, they have to have something that they want to express, right? They must have like a story or an idea.
I started to read part of an article that I then was like, nope, I'm gonna spoil it for myself. But they have done a deep mythological cut into an old cult. And that is all I will say. I will let you dig into it later. I was hoping that you had all the dirt on this and then we could talk about this, but now we're just done and where no subjects are left for discussion whatsoever and we can just quit recording.
I think that I have all the keys now, so that's cool.
Well, good. We're done.
Quit. There we go. All skies are blue. I'm glad that they give you the thumbs up there.
So you're not just wandering around being like, where's that 18th key? Well, how many keys are there? 10 probably?
9. But I think you only have to find 8 because one of them is already locked into place.
Ooh.
Hold on, now here's a question. Do I want to go straight for the ending? 95% of scans, 83% of items. Good grief, what else am I missing and where?
I don't know. That's not low percentages, but 80.
The scans, if I'm lucky, might just be from like the final string of bosses and stuff.
Yeah.
But missing like a fifth-ish of the items sort of surprises me because I thought that I'd been pretty judicious.
I don't know, you tend to grumble every time you see a missile pack, so...
Oh, geez, do you think I just walked past a bunch of missiles?
Yeah, you probably really...
Missiles, who cares? Mm-hmm. Ooh. Okay, hold on. I want to say a little bit about Supergiant Games. One of the things that I've thought in the past, like, Supergiant Games... They could have made a mint, I'm sure, producing sequels to other games they've developed. I'm sure if they had done like a Bastion 2, if they had done a sequel to Bastion, it was just called Bastion, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that it would have been highly competent and would have been a good game, a good sequel, and
fun, profitable.
And I'm sure that they would have made a ton of money. So it is curious to me, like, what is it about Hades? I mean, I guess you sort of already said what I would need to hear, which is that they just found something historically interesting that they want to explore with the game system that they already built up around.
It seems like there are some...
I hope it's not... I hope that it's like a very different style of game where you're not just like running through a procedurally generated environment again, because that felt very unique to Hades and Tartarus and
Yeah.
Elysium and the other one.
I mean, they're a good bit away from a full release and from their early access too. So they said sometime in 2023 is what I read. So that, I mean, does that mean November? So I don't know. Now you can decide to dig for it or not, but I thought that you might enjoy knowing about that. Well, actually, no, I thought you already knew about that.
No.
But you've been too busy being happy in your fortress.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that yet. Because if I start talking about that, then that's all we're going to talk about for the rest of the session. So, I will say that the order of operations for me personally, it's another new IP. That would have been my number one pick for what I would want to see from Supergiant Games.
Yeah.
The number two option would have actually been a remake of Transistor.
Ooh.
And then the third option would probably be... Actually, it wouldn't have been a sequel to Hades. It would have been DLC to Hades that was mechanically focused and just added additional gods. Because I feel like... I don't know, man. I just feel like they really passed... passing on... like they didn't... I don't think that they had like a fire-centric deity that helped you out. I don't think that they had a fire one. And like Apollo and like the god of the forge were both just... It's Hephaestus, right? Hephaestus?
I think so.
They were just... I feel like that's just right there. But then again, I guess Forge was already sort of taken because I think of it, that's supposed to be like the explanation for the weapon upgrades. Still, a solar-powered, fiery aspected sun god would have been cool,
Yeah. Hey, is Kotaku a decent source for information?
I don't know. I don't really trust any gaming news sites because I feel like...
I mean, they do tend to say the same sorts of things.
I just feel like they're all pretty transparently bribed by publishers. Like you can only see Skyward Sword get perfect review scores. You can only see that once and then be like, oh, it's all bullshit. The game that literally, like, the controls just don't work a percentage of the time. And it got a bunch of perfect scores? Okay. Yeah, alright.
This is a bunch of word vomit.
Mainly, I just trust individuals. Like, there are individual reporters and...
Yeah,
personalities I follow.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the name of the deity, the cult.
No, I don't care about that. I don't need to know that.
Okay, fine.
Now we're in spoiler territory, and I'll just play it. I actually probably won't even play it in early access, because it's like the problem with Supergiant Games, they're in my mind, and having now like finished Transistor, they have a perfect record.
Ooh, and
no other developer makes games of that quality and has a perfect record. I was iffy on Transistor for a long time.
To the point where we even played it on the show so you could work through it.
Yeah, so I would feel obligated to see it through to its conclusion, and I'm glad I did, because that final fight, man, really, and then the changes that they make in New Game Plus, it just... Like, that's why if I could wave a magic wand, if I could wave a an incredibly malicious, villainous wand of mind control and just have Supergiant Games make like whatever I wanted them to make, it would be a remake of Transistor that basically turns the post game into the main game.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't have to play through the game once before it
turns into something really, really spectacular.
Well, I mean, so spoilers for Transistor if you haven't played and beaten it, but ultimately it has this kind of recursive element to the narrative and to the mechanics, I think more than the narrative, that this sounds geez. Okay, hold on, I gotta try.
See what percentage that changes your stats.
Oh, that's a good call.
Just to
Okay, and then there's a Sonic thing up there. So I know that recently I've been down on procedurally generated stuff.
Yeah.
But Transistor should probably have just been that style of game from the outset.
Oh, yeah?
You know? Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Because it's a game that's about recursion.
Yeah.
Ultimately. Oh, I think it was at 82?
I think so. It was in the low 80s.
I think it was at either 82 or 83, and let's assume it was at 82, and it boosted it up to 84. So I'm missing what, 8 things?
8 things, yeah.
Yuck.
That's like one every other area? Ish?
No, that should be like 2 every area, because there are 4 main areas. So, you know,
but
hold on, let's look at the obvious ones. I think that's space for 2 energy tanks. So assuming it's 2 energy tanks, 8 out of 8 power bombs feels like that's probably just that how many you can have total. So assuming that that's space for 2, I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
More like 3.
Yeah, I think it's 3. So then 5. So 225? Could it be 3 energy tanks, 5 missile tanks,
And
8 items?
I think 10 would be a nice round number for power bombs.
But then I would end up with 215 missiles, which is even weirder than 225.
It is.
Am I gonna hit? Hate not a fan that I bounced off in that way.
One of my favorite things about language is all of the non-words that happen in language, in auditory communication. It makes my heart happy. Ooh. I don't like looking down here. There's something about this particular color of this floor that makes me uncomfortable. In combination with that blue.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's uncomfortable looking down through the floor here.
You look away so I can try to look down and see what you're talking about.
Okay, but I don't think you will, because it feels like extremely individual.
I mean, no, I guess it's a big hole of nothing. It's a big death pit. That's not comfortable.
There's a bridge that I like that's roughly this color green, and that the sky can be that color blue, and I think it might be giving me vertigo. Because, like, it feels upside down.
Ho ho! Got it.